What's going on, hustlers? Back to you guys with another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Namyad channel. So today we're going to be discussing how to use my channel to win contracts. I get a lot of DMs from people and they're like, "Hey, how do I get started?" And then I'm like, "Hey, watch my videos." And they ask me something specific, right? And I'm like, "Hey, I made a video about this." But if you are looking just for some like overarching guidance, right? And you want to figure out, okay, how do I use the information that this guy is giving me to actually generate dollars, right? There is an order to which you should be watching the content that I am creating. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say thank you guys so much for all the growth and support. Please follow me and DM me if you want the free acronym PDF. You do have to be following me if you want me to send that to you. And then let's see what else. So, you guys were pretty split down the middle when I said, what do you guys want to do for the 2,000 subscriber celebration? So we're about 600 subscribers away from that. So I don't know. I might have to run like another poll. I said I wanted to do half off on the on all of Namyad's classes for 24 hours. Some of you guys said that you wanted something else. So we're going to have to take some time to see. But without further ado, let's get into the video. And also, I had to move apartments. So if you notice, there's a bit. It's the same. Like still the metals and stuff, but then I had to like change some stuff and add some stuff because I'm in now a different apartment, but in the same building, so it wasn't too bad of a move. But without further ado, let's get into it. So this is going to be 3 parts. So part 1 is going to be, is DLA for you? So a lot of people hear government contracting and they're like, hey, I want to get into it. I think it's great, but it's not for everybody, bro. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You got to be a certain caliber of person to stick it out and to be able to generate dollars. You got to be a certain caliber of person to, do this high level problem solving. I think anybody has the ability to do it. Like, I think just in terms of rote ability, I think anybody can do it. But I also think in terms of like your desires and your goals, and then maybe like the kind of person you are and the kind of goals that you have, you might want to do some self-reflecting before you get into this. So part 1 is going to be, is DLA for you? So the first video that you should watch is Doing Business with DLA Explained. That explains how they're organized, how they do their buying, how they're structured, how the products are listed, all that good stuff, right? And then if you like that, then go watch How to Start Government Contracting in 2024. Pretty self-explanatory. It talks about all the steps, talks about, filing your LLC, then SAM, then getting your cage code, then getting registered in DIBS, then picking a product, which we talk about market research, which is also in this video. And then the next thing, please watch the 5 things I wish I knew before my first contract. I have taken plenty of licks. I have screwed up plenty of times. I easily tell people, and that number is probably higher now, easily I've screwed up at least $250,000 worth of contracts, without a doubt. Not to say that I wasn't able to salvage them, but I've taken some licks. I've messed some things up. Then please watch the 10 most common questions I get about DLA. So more than likely, if you're watching this video, right, and you have questions about it, I answer one of the questions that you have about DLA in that video. Probably I answer all of them. Like, that's derived from almost half a decade of experience working in government contracting, and then almost 3 years of teaching people about government contracting. So I got a pretty good sample size, worked with over 120 companies. And I've had plenty of consultations of people who are just like, hey, I just want to talk. Maybe it's for me, maybe it's not. So I can easily say I've spoken to 300 or 400 people. Then SAM versus DLA Explained. Please watch this, because so many of you guys come to me and you guys are like, hey, I want to work with you. And I'm like, okay, are you registered in SAM? And they're like, huh? And then they're like, sometimes I get people and they're like, oh, I'm registered in SAM, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, are you registered in DIBS? And they're like, huh? So yeah, please watch that video, figure out the difference between them. DLA is exclusively products, SAM is a mix of both, and DLA, you do have to get registered on DIBS with your postcard. So part 2, arming yourself with knowledge. So let's say, okay, now you've watched those videos, right? And then you're like, okay, I want to do this. I want to sink my teeth into this pie. I want to get the ball rolling. Please watch these videos. So the first of which is 5 keys to success with DLA, just 5 like overall personal things, right? None of these things cost any money. These are just mindset things that you can implement into your own life, just things that, you can start doing like today, like from the moment you pick up the phone and start calling companies. Then number 2 is 10 things that you need to win with DLA. So this talks about like kind of like logistically the stuff that you're going to need to fulfill these contracts. A lot of people don't talk about that stuff, like hey, you're going to need a printer. Hey, you will need a heat gun. You will need to buy labels. You will need a shelf to store these items, right? So that's 10 things that you're going to need to win with DLA. So just stuff that you can buy on like Amazon. Then how to do market research. So people come to me all the time and like, I don't know what to sell, right? In that video, I talk about how to do market research, talk about how to pick a product. Now, obviously, anybody that's looking for coaching, we do that a lot more in depth. Then we examine, hey, what are your logistical capabilities? What FSC codes do you have in mind? This is what I know the government's spending. Hey, I know that, this industry had some mergers and acquisitions, or hey, like for instance, somebody wants to sell electronics. Hey, I know that the cost of fuses has gone down since COVID. So just a couple of different things that we discuss in how to do market research with those who come on board as clients. But that video still touches a lot of those. It touches all the main points that you need when you're doing market research. Talks about how to use a PDS, how to use every spec, all that good stuff. And then anybody that's looking like, hey, I really want to get a product dialed in, we help you out with that. And then number 4, this is a big one: how to read solicitations. And this one is specifically for startups. So there's some stuff in there that I tell you, hey, if you're a brand new company, you're going to want to avoid this because I know you're not going to have these certs yet. Or if you're a brand new company and you're a one-man show, you're going to want to make sure that the government's paying for shipping. So we talk about how to identify that. So that's part 2, arming yourself with the knowledge before you get started, right? So at this point, you've decided, hey, I want to do business with DLA. Now you're kind of arming yourself. It's like you're loading your shotgun before you're getting ready to go eat what you kill, right? So now you've decided, I want to pick up the shotgun. And then part 2 is, I have now loaded the shotgun. Part 3, no pun intended, pulling the trigger. So this is when you're like, hey, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready, aim, fire. So 5 key factors when choosing a product to sell to the government, right? So you've done your market research, and now you're picking products that you want to sell within, those product markets. Then talking about how to get pricing and availability, how to reach out to these companies, how to get the products, how to get pricing and availability on these products, figure out how much they're going to cost, how long the lead time is going to be, if the company's a viable option, all that good stuff. Then $1 million phone call script. That video is worth so much value, and I'm glad that it's like kind of trending in the right direction in terms of like the view count. That is so much free sauce in there. Like I don't know how much easier I can make it. That's the same phone call script I use. It's the same phone call script I used to train employees. That's the same phone call script that a lot of our clients get. I just teach how to use it a bit more in depth, but it's literally the phone call script that I use when I'm calling people on the phone. When Cantave needs to bring home the bacon, and Day needs to pay his bills, and Day's like, I need some fucking commission. That's the script that I use. So that Mercedes that y'all see me driving on Instagram, that's the phone call script that I use to get me there. That Mercedes or those trips that I'm taking, like I'm about to go to Thailand to go mastermind with some entrepreneurs. That trip is paid for because of the email template that I use. I'm going to the DLA mastermind in Columbus, Ohio, their industry day with DLA Land and Maritime. I'm paying for that trip with the money, or really the company's paying for that trip, but company's paying for that trip with the money that we generated from using that pricing and availability. So this is like straight up the method. This is the method. And then number 4, how to get traceability. So a lot of people don't know this. When you're getting traceability, that means that you're being considered as a finalist for award for that contract. We talked to you in that video about what it is, how to get it. And then if you guys have some trouble creating standard operating procedures or how to appropriately file that or keep track of your bids, that's something that we also teach with all of our clients. So if you guys need some help with that more in depth, reach out to us. But that is the order in which you should be watching my video specifically on DLA. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. I've got some interviews on there. I've got like 5 biggest myths about GovCon, some ways that you can like avoid losing money, right? All that stuff is auxiliary though. It's add-on stuff. It's great stuff to help you. But this is the stuff that, if I were starting over tomorrow and I was watching my channel, this is the order that I would tell that person to watch that stuff in. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, Namyad family. As always, I'm super grateful for the support. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. You must be following me to get a response. And please click the link below to get to our calendar if you're looking for some coaching and some guidance. As always, not only am I looking forward to your success, I am sure of it. Y'all get out there and make those dollars, hustlers.